Hi, it's Panda Movies here. Today I'm going to explain the movie called The Quiet Earth. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. Enjoy the video. The 5th of July begins like any other winter morning in Hamilton, New Zealand. The sun dims for a brief moment at 6:12 a.m., revealing a red light surrounded by darkness. Zac Hobson is a Delenko scientist who is part of an international consortium led by the United States that is working on Project Flashlight, an endeavor to develop a wireless worldwide energy grid to power military equipment. He wakes up suddenly and is unable to hear any transmissions when he turns on his radio. He enters the city, which he discovers to be desolate. He discovers the smoldering wreckage of a passenger jet while investigating a fire, but there are no bodies, only empty seats. Zac enters his laboratory but is unable to communicate with any of the other laboratories around the planet. He discovers the body of a coworker at a control panel in an underground facility, and a monitor displays the message, "Operation Flashlight Complete." The mass disappearance appears to have occurred at the same time when Flashlight was turned on. He improvises a bomb to leave the lab, which is abruptly and automatically sealed due to radiation. He listens to himself on a tape recorder explaining the project as having phenomenal catastrophic potential, then writes, Zac Hobson, July 5th. 1. There has been a malfunction in Project Flashlight with devastating repercussions. 2. It appears I am the only person remaining on Earth. Zac moves into a mansion after a week of trying to contact another human being. His mental condition starts to deteriorate. He changes into a woman's nightgown and alternates between joy and sadness. He assembles cardboard cutouts of famous individuals, including Adolf Hitler, Elizabeth II, and Pope John Paul II, uses enormous speakers to play a loud fanfare and cheers, and addresses the cutouts from a balcony. After the electricity goes out, he declares himself president of this quiet earth and embarks on a violent rampage. He storms into a church, hurls a statue of Jesus from a crucifix, and proclaims himself to be God. He puts the barrel of a shotgun into his mouth after accidentally smashing an empty pram with a big earth mover, but desists. Zac returns to his regular schedule. Joanne, a young woman, appears one morning. Zac is attracted to her, and they have sex after a few days. They discover a third survivor, API, a huge Maury guy. The three figure out how they survived. They were all on the verge of death at the time of the effect. API was drowning after a quarrel, Joanne was electrocuted by a faulty hairdryer, and Zac had overdosed on pills in a suicide attempt. He was remorseful for not speaking out when he recognized the experiment was dangerous. Zac is more concerned with his scientific observations, which show that universal physical constants are shifting, causing the sun's power to fluctuate. Zac is afraid that the effect will happen again, so he intends to demolish the Delenko facility to prevent it. The three put their differences aside and drive a truckload of explosives to the facility, only to be stopped at the boundary when Zac detects deadly amounts of ionizing radiation coming from the plant. He claims that will go to town to retrieve a remote control device to send the truck into the facility. Joanne and API enjoy sex while Zac is away. API then informs Joanne that he will sacrifice himself by driving the truck because he doubts Zac's technology will be able to control it. They suddenly hear the truck approaching. Zac drives the truck onto the weakening roof of the laboratory's underground section, which collapses. He detonates the explosives just as the effect reaches its peak. A dazzling red light is visible once more, encircled by a gloomy tunnel. Zac wakes up on a beach at dusk. Strange cloud formations that resemble waterspouts are rising from the sea. As he approaches the water's edge, he notices a massive ringed planet gently rising over the horizon.